Hey everyone, welcome to the Antics and Goose Show.
I'm Fancy Antics.
And I'm Trap Goose Gaming.
It's the show where we talk about anything and see where it takes us. But we really have no fucking idea what we're talking about right now, and that's kind of the point. Just, starting up a podcast and see how she goes. And we'll see what you guys think.
Yeah, we're just two friends hanging out, talking, basically doing what we do every day, and making no sense about absolutely everything.
Yeah, that's usually what we do. We're basically two, generally speaking, Xbox gamers and stuff. So a lot of the randomness of just talking about nothing is just kind of what we do when we play games. So yeah, it's good.
That's kind of what started the whole podcast to begin with, is we were playing Xbox, and then we stopped playing Xbox just to talk for 4 hours. So kind of came up with the idea that, hey, we should probably just start a podcast and let everybody else hear us talk. So we didn't have to listen to our own voices.
Yeah, like let everyone else suffer through them as well.
Exactly. So let's start off. Let's talk a little bit about ourselves. I'm Trap Goose Gaming. I'm a Twitch streamer, now a podcaster. I have a TikTok, Twitter, everything like that, social media. What brought me to doing content creation was just sitting here doing absolutely nothing during this whole pandemic lockdown, and I was like, there's got to be something to do. I spend all day playing video games, so I was like, well, let's let's start streaming. And I kind of didn't think anything of it, and then all my friends started telling me, hey, you're actually kind of entertaining. So I just kept going. I've been streaming now since September, so that's basically been my growth on that.
Mm-hmm. And as of right now, where are you at with
Well, right now I'm sitting at like 554 followers right now. Working with some great people on Twitch to grow a great community. We got like Crex the Mage, Demi the Drag Queen. We got Hoovy07. He's pretty tight. Goose Lord, him and I have been doing like charity streams and such like that, which has been lots and lots of fun. And we're going to be doing one at the beginning of the month. So that's also going to be a lot of fun. We did last month, we raised $800 for suicide prevention. So that was crazy.
Yeah, that was an excellent stream. You guys played Goose Game. That's your both gooses.
Yeah, we're both geese, so that was a lot of fun.
But yeah, what's worked? I mean, you guys weren't even expecting much to go from that either. Just small amount of money, get some stuff out there. But that was a lot of money, really, all things considered.
Well, yeah, I think our goal started as $1. So
yeah, right. That's what it was too. That's what you said.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, making anything more than $1, we were happy with, because anything that helped change the world is what we were going for.
Yeah, exactly. And every little bit helps, I'd say.
Now, tell us about yourself, Fancy.
Well, me, I'm Fancy Antics. Opposite of Twitch in this case, I guess. I am a YouTuber, or at least aspiring to be one. I've always kind of been like I just on YouTube a lot. I watch a lot of YouTubers and stuff like that. I'm just something for time, and then like the whole same thing with the pandemic kind of thing. Just wanted to talk to that, figure that kind of stuff out, and make something out of that. I think there's so many content creators out there. It's a good like way of life. So I thought, when I try my hand, then I kind of do that kind of stuff. Like I love big time streamers or gamers like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. Watched a lot of them, of course, as most people do. Though not really my thing so far, kind of thing. But the most thing, because I love music and stuff like that, and listen to just a lot of different original songs and stuff on YouTube for the longest time. Stuff you usually can't find on mainstream platforms like Spotify or radio, satellite radio, whatever. Just because it's not record label stuff. You have people do covers and different types of music, different things like that. And then I eventually, at some point, stumbled upon YouTube is JT Music, which just checking out like really cool video game themed songs and stuff like that, like raps and kind of music like that. So yeah, I want to try my hand in that kind of stuff. I thought so. That's what I've been doing so far is making music and seeing that where that goes. Very amateur stuff so far, but music for um, like raps of different games and kind of procedurally going with that and different types of music, different styles to see how it goes. To make songs, original songs about characters from games, more so really parody work of it. It's what I think officially be categorized as, but just have a lot of fun with it and want to make it something people can actually listen to. And kind of chose YouTube as that platform for that reason. It's stuff you can kind of work your own time at and put it out there and grow in a different way than Twitch. For me, Twitch for streaming, a fantastic platform for that kind of stuff, but I'm just not as like I don't have the time to be on Twitch yet. Like maybe one day I can actually get consistent enough to be on there and stream with it or something like that. But I don't know. But that's about me for the intro on the whole uh, YouTube thing. So stuck the name Fancy Antics on it. That was really catchy. That's all I got.
Yeah, Fancy Antics. I actually thought that was a really creative idea. When you first told me, I was like, that's not you. That doesn't seem like you. But it actually kind of is now stuck as a very good shtick and a very good name, and it's even getting recognition just literally like from even like my corner of the Twitch community. People are all being like, "Hey, it's Fancy Antics." You pop into my stream, people are like, "Hey, Fancy, what's up?" So it's like,
Yeah.
that small little recognition, and people are catching on, and it's a unique name, right? So
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things when you just say it enough times, it just kind of starts rolling off the tongue a bit better. Sounds weird at first, but things how people pick baby names, right?
well, yeah, exactly, yeah,
You just
like,
keep saying the name over and over again, and it kind of
well, like
mentions
there's
so it
Tree,
doesn't.
Summer. There's some really
Yeah.
weird baby names out there. So I mean, and hey, like even when it comes to content creation, you got to kind of stick out like a sore thumb, right? Like you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be that boring person that just uses your first and last name and that's what you do. I mean, and if you do that and it works for you, hey, good on you. But I mean,
Yeah.
your first and last name isn't going to necessarily catch someone's eye.
No, not normally. Mine wouldn't, but
But yeah, I mean, and that's kind of one thing. Like I chose it, and it was a really weird time for the whole pandemic thing too. It was like the social aspect of being a content creator. It comes like like I said, is like there's a small little family now that comes over on Twitch that I talk to just as much as I talk to them like my real life friends or family, and it's crazy.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Pretty much, and almost the same for me in that kind of sense. Not my stream, but joining in and just being able to chat with everybody, or even in like an Xbox Live party kind of thing like that too. It's I mean, good to have some vocal social interaction that isn't work.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, and that's one thing. It's like for me, I've never been able to consider Twitch work. It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
fun for me, and it's a way to express myself in front of people that like, of course, they're not just typical customers at work, right? So it's been a very good way to grow myself and get myself out there and have a lot of fun doing it. Like playing video games has always been something I've loved, but it's been something I've always kind of been like, oh, I'm not gonna play video games, and I've just like stumbled off for, a few months just not playing any video games. But now it's like I'm back, and I've re-fallen in love with video games and all different kinds, like Jackbox even. Like that's something I have so much fun playing.
Yeah, that's fucking Jackbox is like the probably one of the best sort of games ever invented. Too. Somebody showed that to me once, like a long time ago. Got into that, and then every other person I showed it to bought their own copies of it too, and hooked ever since because it's on every possible platform, basically a board game of a sort, kind of thing like that.
Well,
And
exactly. It's everywhere.
yeah, it's it's pretty good. And I guess maybe clarify for those who don't know what Jackbox is. Jackbox, it's just basically like a video game, board game, original stuff. You basically put it on a platform like a console, Xbox, PC, your phone. Really doesn't really matter what the source is that you paid for it. And each package, Jackbox 1 through whatever 7 or 8 now we got, you have a start up a game of whatever it is. Each one has like 5 or 6 games with it, and everyone else, you play with your phone as essentially your playing piece and stuff like that. And you go log into a site, and your phone is the playing piece essentially. So you enter the prompts, you enter the actions on your device as it puts them on screen for the group to see and stuff like that. So it's a really good basically it's shenanigans on steroids. It's just hilarious stuff. You just talk about in every possible kind of game you can think of. There's so many original concepts of stuff, and it's just a lot of fun around it with a group of people. Anyone you play with will probably absolutely love it. So shout out to them. But for that reason, as you mentioned, like it works really well in streams too, because you can stream it, and then essentially anybody watching could play it with a minor delay of the timers and stuff like that. So that's why it works so well. Everyone gets into it. Everyone's on, enjoys it. So I mean, check it out in that sense from Goose Gaming to see on the average Saturday if you want to see what that's even like with a group of people if you haven't got it yourself.
Yeah, and it's a good way, like, because on Saturdays it's a streamer support stream, right? So it's a good way for people to be like, hey, that person's got a really funny personality. Like, I want to go watch them. And that's exactly
Mm-hmm.
it. You just come by, you can shut yourself out, you can hang out, you can talk with everyone. It's kind of just a little bit of a free exposure because I wouldn't have been
Mm-hmm.
where I am on Twitch without going into people's chats and just talking and getting followers and people coming in and finding me on social media. And it's been a crazy ride. Like I owe a lot to people like Krex, who, he came to my channel one day after finding me on Facebook and was just like, hey, by the way, you dope. Like, what are you doing on Sunday? You should come watch my stream. And I was like, I'm going to check out your stream. And it actually turned out to be one of my favorite streams. I literally wake up every Sunday morning and watch Coffee with Krex because he just sits there, chills, talks, listens to music. And it's really fun engagement, and it's a good time.
Yeah, it's a really cool stream that he does kind of stuff like that. And I wouldn't be where I am too, even without just joining into the chats on this kind of stuff. And to be fair, I'm not very far on YouTube, not right now. One day, hopefully, if I can look back in this video and it's a long ways into the future. That'd be really cool. But so far, that's how I get some people following me and checking what I do. So he's not kidding when it's a good support stream for any platform you're on. Jump in there and have some fun. Shout yourself out.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, right? And it's I never thought, like, years and years ago I was that person that was like, come on, playing video games is not a way to make money. And it's kind of a joke because I had a friend that literally lived with me and he streamed. And I was like, come on, man, you'd play video games like 18 hours a day. Like, this couldn't be a job. And then slowly I got, like, as the pandemic's happening, I'm like, these guys don't stop. I was sitting at home laid off, just like sitting there twiddling my thumbs, being like, okay, I can only watch Game of Thrones so many times before it comes down to, I'm like, man, I got to find something new to watch. And then I started getting into Twitch a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'm like, maybe I could do it. And then I started streaming, and it literally, like I said, it's opened a bunch of doors and opened some good opportunities in my life already. And I've only been streaming for 4 months.
Yeah, you're growing quite a bit in the short amount of time that is. So good on.
Yeah, it's been an adventure, and I mean, I think exactly we're gonna look back at these videos and be like, okay, how the hell was our podcast such bad quality? But I think in the future, in the future, it's definitely going to be a growing thing. And as we go, we learn. People are going to comment and be like, guys, come on now. Like, why is one of you in pitch black and one is you in a bright white room? Like, we'll eventually have a legit podcast studio and work on that. But,
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. Like, gotta start somewhere, pandemic or not.
Exactly, yeah.
Budget.
Exactly, yeah. It just doesn't seem right to completely put all of our eggs in one basket. And that was one reason I just like, you know what, maybe I gotta figure out something else. I wanted to get on YouTube, but then I was like, you know what, I feel like I could do a podcast, and that would be like literally because I just talk for hours and hours about random stuff in Xbox parties with my friends. So I mean, I figured this is a good way to expose myself to the YouTube world and people that don't just sit and watch people play video games.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh, Pretty much just another avenue to get out there and have some fun. Really different side of gaming too, doing this kind of stuff too, just being able to chat and relax, and hopefully have people listen to it as like anybody else does to their own respective podcasts and stuff. So
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing too is I find like there's a lot of podcasts out there that have like it's very strict content in the sense that it'll be like, okay, it's like a nerd podcast where it's like, all they do is talk about like gaming and Star Wars and movie releases and stuff like that. But I'm like, the people like me, I like to have a variety of
mm,
information in my podcasts. So like coming from like stuff like I've watched a lot of Joe Rogan Experience. Like the Joe Rogan Experience is a great podcast because you go from having stoners on there to having doctors like within an episode of each other. And then there's like MMA
yeah,
athletes, right? So it's like that's a very good piece of content where it's like you can if you watch Joe Rogan's podcast for a week, you're normally going to get a lot of different content.
yeah, big time. Like I think one of our biggest reasons for doing this too. I think if we're looking at any kind of podcaster, it's probably Joe Rogan Experience for that kind of thing. Because you're right, where it's like um, there's all those little niche ones and stuff like that, and maybe to a degree we'd hit that at some point. I don't know, but obviously the Joe Rogan's is probably the biggest out there, if not one of. Somebody would have to fact check me on that for podcasts and stuff like that. And it's it's every episode's different. It's a general idea of just two people talking, but it's not there's it's not a niche. It's all over the place. It could be political, tech, could be pop culture. It really doesn't matter, and it's still a great show to talk about. Just a good conversation, really.
Yeah. The man, come on, he had Kanye West on there talking about how he's going to be president. So I mean, let's let's face it, he's
Yeah,
got somehow he mixes pop culture and politics into one episode. So
yeah, yeah. There you go. That's how it's done. See if we can do that. We'll get Kanye West on here one day.
Kanye West, no, we'll get Kanye West and Joe Rogan on here. That's the goal.
Ooh,
Both of
there
them
we
at
go.
the same time.
Hopefully they see this.
But like that's exactly it. We want to touch on a bunch of different topics as we keep going
Mm-hmm.
and growing. We want to we want to get into like the whole tech aspect of it and really like I mean I love tech. When new stuff comes out, I literally like freak out about PC parts and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to buy it, but I'm really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always fun. But like video games always are exciting. Like we talked about the video game awards and how they were streamed on Twitch and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, and that's really interesting to me, like the fact that that's Twitch is a platform for stuff like that now.
Yeah, big time. Yep. Yeah, it's cool how it's kind of gone that far, and obviously Twitch is used for a lot of things. Like for this, the podcast, as I'm sure you guys are watching it now, we'll have it'll be on YouTube, of course, and probably other platforms later as we figure that out. But start with that because the video aspect is here. Most of the platforms are going to be audio. So basically, and that's just it. We'll have all these kind of topics too to go through as we figure out what they are in each one. And of course, we'll be reading your comments on this platform, and then of course other platforms that would, I guess, allow comments for that kind of stuff too, to to see what people like, what they don't like as they go. Kind of shape it in a certain direction, and hopefully create a conversation there as well. But time will tell.
Well, and that's exactly it. And someone could just be like, hey guys, we just want you to talk about Taco Bell. And I mean, shit, I'm in, but
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
know it's all about what people want to see, and that's the kind of person I am. It's if you want to
Mhm.
see like us just sit here and break down a certain event that happens in the world, we can do this
Mhm.
stuff. And if we don't know everything about it, we are both wise enough to read about it before we talk about it.
Yeah, And then at the same time as that too, like we would probably like be very, want to be clear on those sensitive topics too. Anyways, like if we don't know something, let us know and stuff like that. We don't intend ever just being who we are to know everything about everything. So don't ever give that off that impression too. Like we're learning to, we're just as human as anybody else on this platform or whatever. So
Yeah, we're all humans. We all make mistakes. If it comes down to, us being stupid and saying the wrong things, offending someone, I'm sorry already. Well, let that be said. I say a lot of stupid shit in my life, but I'm never out there to purposely offend anyone. It's all out of love and jokes.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, exactly. A joke's a joke, like yeah.
Like if I'm not picking on you, I don't like you. Pretty much. That's kind of how I work.
That works. That's pretty true. I can vouch for that. I guess, like Trapku said, we don't really like we're not sticking to one specific niche necessarily on that because there's so much we can talk about. So yeah, we want to do pop culture, finances, tech. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Like it's good doing this kind of way too because the both of us like we got quite a few things about certain things or whatever, and a different experience like that, and as well as we're just talking out to you guys in the public here and everything like that. There's a lot of stuff we teach. Like I know a lot more about YouTube than Trap Goose does, and same with Twitch on the vice versa. So it's just as fascinating talking to each other on this as it would be for you guys to listen. It's the conversation. We're not just two guys that are on the same boat about everything too. So
like Doritos.
Sense, like what?
Like Doritos.
What'd you say? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. I think we had the conversation earlier. I love Doritos, so like if I had to have one food or anything for the rest of my life, it would be Doritos. Zesty cheese Doritos.
Gross.
Don't hate me. And then he brings up, he's like, yeah, I know those aren't really good. And I was like, hey, I don't want to do a podcast with you anymore. And but here we are, sucked it up. But yeah. So yeah, that's that. Yum.
Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to Doritos, man, I'm just not a snack person. That's all. Like I don't even like popcorn. I don't like. I'm like I know. I'm just not a. I'm not a snacky person. I'm like you let me marinate a steak for days and I'll cook that shit up, and that is like the peak. If I had a choice between eating like one steak a week or eating a bag of Doritos every day, I'm taking a steak a week.
Okay, in reality, probably the same for me. For the sake of living, for one. But just I don't know. Maybe I separated two categories, like snacks and food are different things. Like I love steak, and a good marinated steak's the way to go for sure. Especially quality beef we have and everything like that. It's the best.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, and the thing is, you can like get mediocre beef here, and it's better than a lot of places I've experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
Ideally, what I want in life is I need a smoker in my backyard. That's if I could have smoked meat at all times. That would make me happy.
That'd be the way to go. I agree. Some ways you can do that too. Like, yeah, like steak's good. I went to like even long time ago when I was a kid to Florida. So sorry, Floridians, for this one, but decided for some crazy reason to have a steak when I was there, and it was pretty awesome. So just it's not at all. I suppose every little place has got their food specialties, of course, right? Like you want real Mexican food, you go to Mexico. Simple as that.
Or apparently Texas. Apparently, there's really good Mexican food in Texas.
That I've heard as well, but also that's what bordering Mexico as well, in a sense, in a sense is. So it helps with that kind of that stuff. I'm assuming, especially Southern Texas, because a lot of the recipes are very similar to that. But but essentially, That's where you go. Every place has got different things. Like you find the best seafood on the coast. You eat seafood here, it's pretty much shit.
Yeah,
Unless you're freezing it. Not even then, that's not the same. So,
definitely not the same. Yeah, no. Yeah, like Alberta is known for its beef. Like, and that's probably one reason I grow up actually absolutely loving steak. Like, that's the way to my heart. Is if someone just handed me a nice big plate of steak, I'm happy. It's like a woman with flowers is me with steak, you know? Except I'll never say I don't want a steak. You know, women always say they don't want flowers. I'll always take a steak.
Yep, me too.
Unless it's in Florida, apparently.
Yeah. You know, maybe it's just where I went. It was just awful, but come on, Florida, import some Alberta beef.
Yeah. That. I mean, hey, I've always wanted to try like Wagyu, but that seems way too expensive.
Yeah, one day we'll have the money for it, right?
Well, you know, only like a couple ounces is like a couple $100, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, what's a couple $100? We could have. Yeah, fuck. We could have like a professionally cooked a bunch of different steaks one time on a future podcast and just each try a piece as we go and stuff like that.
Oh, that would be amazing. I actually want to do a Twitch cooking show because I actually really, really like cooking. I'm just not a big fan of the cleanup.
Oh, well, fuck, same here. I love cooking.
And like my thing is just cooking's great. It's fun. It's wonderful. But the cleanup sucks so much.
Yep.
Like I
generally does. Yep.
I am not. I hate it. If I cook like a big meal, I'm just like, God damn! I just made a mess all over the kitchen. So I've just, I'm like, man, I just gotta find ways. Like one reason I like barbecuing food is because it's easier to clean a barbecue than it is to cook a pan.
Yeah, I must feel like somebody should like invent a company, not like a maid, you know, but like somebody you cook and then somebody just like comes in to do the dishes and stuff like that.
No,
you know,
there you go.
Maybe I do that.
It's
I call it skip the dishes.
Right. It's taken. There you go. Yeah, that way you just throw everything in the garbage can and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Or you can just open up the dishwasher and just dump everything in there and hope things come out clean.
True. I mean, better dishwashers will have that kind of effect on certain things, I guess. But even then,
of course, you'd know about dishwashers.
I do. I would. I know my appliances, but if you have like a caked on pot or pan, there's really no dishwasher that's getting that out. No, just to describe it a bit. In general, but you know, that's actually my weird party trick.
What
is that? It's just fucking stupid. Is like to the level that's annoying, but I like you watch a show or something like that. I can like, and you know, there's a background to a kitchen or something like that. I know exactly what every appliance is. There's always the silhouette of the blurred background.
Oh my lord!
The displays and stuff like that.
You spend too much time in.
You watch The Walking Dead and the zombie apocalypse zombies are in the kitchen. Oh, hey, that's a Samsung fridge right there. That's cool. Their brains bitten out.
It's like I was actually scrolling through. It was like a random website ad or whatever, and they had it was a couch, and I was like, man, I used to sell that when I worked at Leon's, and it was just like one of those companies that just takes couches from other companies and just resells them for like twice the price.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, I was like, man, I know that couch. It was the Collier or whatever it is, the really puffy one that's like $500. They had it for like $1,300.
Jesus.
Yeah, we all know that couch quality is crap.
Yeah, as far as Canadian furniture goes, that's not high on the list, but sells pretty well. People like it.
Well, it's because it's cheap and it's comfy at the start.
Exactly.
It's like our podcast. It's cheap, but comfortable.
Oh my god. There's your motto right there. The Antics and Goose Show. It's cheap, but comfortable.
Exactly.
You have like a motto for a lot of things. It's cheap but comfortable.
Yeah.
It could be like a TikTok tag and something.
Exactly.
It's cheap but comfortable. And you get some really weird shit pop up probably.
Oh, we have no fucking idea what we're doing right now, and that's kind of the point.
Yep.
Like, goddamn. That is pretty much my life motto right there. I have no idea what
Mhm.
I'm doing, but you know, it's kind of the point.
That's why we're here.
Exactly. That's exactly it. I mean, we started this just kind of on a whim.
Mhm.
I start a lot of things kind of on a whim. It's just like, hey, let's take a risk. Why not?
Exactly. Yeah. More of me lately than ever used to be, and that's basically it. Like we semi-planned this podcast as we did it and stuff, and like not. If you guys watch this and it's like, wow, these guys are like freaking experts from the get-go. How do they do it? Then cool, because that was not at all the plan. It doesn't feel like it. So, yay, I guess. Like, there's, we chat about this and that. It's like, okay, yeah, we got this written down. I'm going to say this a little bit. And, okay, here we go. And, okay, we're starting.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we were planning right up until we started.
Yeah.
And
there's
like
no rehearsal, really, nothing like that.
Yeah, we basically planned it right up until, and I think before we actually started the podcast, or even today, I think we talked once about it, and then we did a test run on Discord once, and then today we started all of our social media accounts. Then what else did we do? When I got home from work, we started planning the podcast.
Yeah. Just test out the cameras, made sure that looks fine. The audio sounded fine. That was it.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
And maybe it doesn't sound fine. Maybe it doesn't look good. So we're just idiots then. Maybe.
That's exactly it. And I mean, you know what? If it doesn't turn out great, we'll figure it out. We're gonna have to watch it all back, and we're just gonna upload it anyways. Even if for some reason the audio's gone or the video's gone, we're just gonna have to upload it anyways, and then we'll fix it for the next one.
Exactly. Just wing it.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like move my lava lamp somewhere or something like that. You know.
Yeah, that lava lamp's really what's gonna sell this podcast right there.
Hey, it looks cool to me, man.
Audio, well, shit.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll just go silent, and that's gonna be our end scene. Is just a lava lamp.
Ooh, fancy.
Just pan it into the lava lamp. Yeah, lame. Oh man, it's like while I'm streaming, all the geese jokes that come up. I'll be playing Rocket League, and people will be like, "Oh, look, it's a goose that doesn't fly. You might as well named yourself Penguin."
Okay, that one, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I get roasted a lot when I play Rocket League. People start making fun of me because I don't fly as much as the average person. But hey, I'm in plat, so that means something.
Does it? I don't know. I don't play Rocket League.
You should. It's free to play on every platform.
I know it is. Yeah, I know.
But you know, I
don't know why I don't actually. Just
it is FIFA with cars.
Yeah.
So it's like
I used to play
Cars the movie. It's like what they do for fun.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like that would be back in the days of N64 was and probably some people would remember this. Maybe you it was Excitebike 64.
Oh, dude, I've got 4 copies of that game.
Do you? So okay, so then like obviously you do the bike and stuff, but there's the one mode in it where you're like in the giant soccer arena.
Yeah.
Bikes and just knocking the ball into each other's nets. So that the first time I saw Rocket League, that's exactly what it made me think of, and it still does to this day. It's exactly that. I played the shit out of that mode, especially back in the day and I never owned it. I only ever rented it. For all you young kids out there, you could actually rent games back in the day, in person, physical copies. Craziness, I know, but if that's what I always I love playing that. So it's kind of weird to me that I don't play much Rocket League really at all.
Well, yeah, no. I've got a crazy N64 collection. So like I've got an unopened Excitebike 64. I've got 2 that are opened. One's got like writing from a video store on it. And then one's just like a mint open copy, and then I've got one that's in box, but the box itself is mangled.
Well, that's still pretty cool. A couple of those, especially the one box one's probably worth a pretty penny. They usually sell for quite a bit at stores or expos and stuff like that. You kind of see, so that's good. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love N64 games. It's, in my opinion, it's the best console ever made.
I would agree with that in general.
Like,
it's just nostalgia speaking, but Yeah.
Well, the thing is even you go back and play it today, N64 is probably one of the better consoles. Like to go back and play, like the Super Nintendo, not a chance. That it's like unless it's a Mario game, right? But like even the original PlayStation, everything feels kind of just choppy and.
That's true. Like I think that's what it is like you go back to the N64 and it's like um the more memorable games. Like even at the time, PlayStation outsold it as far as I know, by quite a bit, and it was more of a success in that sense. But like it, uh, there's just more games you can remember back from it. Certain ones, but generally speaking, most people probably could. You got some iconic ones from PlayStation days like Crash, Twisted Metal, probably.
The Twisted Metal games are a lot of fun.
Yeah, but like you have so much, like obviously Excite Bike, any Mario game, Yoshi game,
Zelda,
Smash Bros. There's Smash Bros. Pokemon Stadium, um, like pretty much everything. Bomberman, like so many good games on it. Very few games that weren't good. That started franchises, especially Smash for one. Would be a big one. A lot of the inspiration of Pokemon games from that too. Like there's, I think that's what makes it one of the best ones too. NES has some pretty good games too. And so does the Super Nintendo and other consoles predating the PlayStation 1 and N64. But you have maybe it's just that mix of all these original game concepts and ones that weren't original. Well, it's the first time it's a 3D version of it,
like Zelda, Mario Kart and Zelda. Yeah.
Exactly. And
definitely it bred some really fun memories as a kid, and that could be very well the nostalgia feel where I'm like, I pick up Mario Party now and I play with friends and I'm like, I love this game. This game's way too good.
And which Mario Party are we talking?
See, with me personally, I like 2 and 3.
Yes.
One is really good, but it feels outdated. I actually prefer Mario Party 3 over the newest Mario Party for the Switch.
I agree. Thank you.
The one for the Switch is it feels lackluster. Like it's got like I think 4 maps and like 8 characters. Like
yeah, it pretty much that. I don't know. I mean, I guess Mario Party's always been that way in the sense that it's like there's so you don't add to it once you got everything kind of for content. But it feels like nowadays with the technology that's out there, you can do a lot more with Mario Party. They just don't, which is disappointing. Like custom boards or adding boards and stuff like that. And just in general, I think most people, as far as I've looked into, enjoy Mario Party 3 the most. Maybe 4 or 5 I've heard on GameCube. But and the mini games are always good on them all. But just the playstyle of the board, it was always so good in 3, and the items you could use to mess up opponents and stuff like that. And it was never really truly as much repeated after that, and they kind of went away from that thing. I don't know why. Like, why if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sort of thing.
Yeah, pretty well. I think honestly one of my favorites though is it's probably like Mario Party 3. 2 is a close second, but Mario Party, I believe it was 7. The one they released for the Wii was really, really fun too.
Yes. I think I had that one. That was a pretty good one because it had. I'm not sure how to reference it. I think it was 7. And then it had like the banking level.
Yeah,
One of the maps? Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking the same one as you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good one for the future one. Yeah. I didn't like how they did it with the one. I think it was after that, ladder, 2 or 3 after that, where the board was linear.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It was just you start to finish. It's like okay, cool, but not really Mario Party. It's not like the board game aspect everyone goes to.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, the Monopoly games have always been fun on every console ever made, so that's always good.
Well, yeah, they definitely have, because you don't have to change them. They just work.
Exactly. I just remember, like, back in the day, like, playing video games was so different than it is now. Like, like a story game back then, because of the size of the game itself, it was, you could beat almost any game in, like, 6 or 7 hours. And now we've got games that are like 120-hour stories, and it's like, holy hell.
Yep. That's true. A lot of them really are. And DLC and all that stuff, and there's little things to do, which is good in itself, and don't get me wrong. Or if you're like a certain friend of ours, you can take a month
to beat the tutorial on Odyssey.
Yep. shout out to that
I'm
moment.
pretty sure that man's still playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so...
Legend has it, to this day. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man, he's gonna freak out if he hears this. He's gonna think he's famous now.
Hey, don't watch this podcast, man. Yeah, it's true.
It's like that one TikTok Crex made. It's like, come here, give us your money, and go watch something else. Literally, that is, in my opinion, that is one of my favorite TikToks ever. It's just all of us bullshitting in a Discord together, and just out of nowhere, Crex is like, yeah, just come here, give us your money, and go watch something else. And it's like, oh man, that's great. And it's just that's literally the shit that happens over on our channels, is just a lot of bullshitting and a lot of having fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really fun time actually. Just usually a lot of laughter. There's a lot of just.
Oh, I've had
shit.
people in Discords literally rolling on the floor laughing just because of my random outbursts. Like, but also like, randomly just being like, hey, I asked them a question. They are like, they try to explain it. And I'm like, hang on, I'm just gonna Google it. And just out of nowhere too, like they're like halfway through explaining something, like 20 minutes in, and I just out complete silence, and I'm just like, I'm gonna Google it, and I just go Google it, and literally everyone found it so funny. It's like one of those moments where it's like you just had to be there for that epic timing that was just too good, and it was like live on Twitch, so it's like dozens of people got to see it.
Mm-hmm. Those are the best kind of moments too.
Now, what is that picture behind you?
Which?
The red thing.
Oh, it was it's just a picture I painted. Like it's a dark sky sunset kind of thing with the moon hovering over the land, and a tree coming up over the hill there.
Okay,
it was
didn't even notice that earlier.
Yeah, there it is. Just did it years ago. It was like kind of like one of those. I've only done it once. I don't even really know what to call it. You go, you sign up for this thing, pay a little bit of money, and you go and you paint it. It's like a guided painting thing.
Oh, okay.
Where and you sit and you have drinks and stuff like that too if you want, food or whatever. And then like somebody teaches you, like it's the same picture for everybody, of what you're just instructed to paint. But obviously everyone turns out a little bit different, and they say there's certain things you can alter, like do whatever. It's your picture, and just kind of teach you some techniques and have some fun while doing it. And only did it once, but it is a lot of fun doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, and that's just how it. That's what it is. That's how it turned out. It's not bad.
It looks cool.
Do a lot of painting.
You're like a jack of all trades.
Yeah, a little bit more like a 8 of clubs of all trades or something like that. But you know,
an 8 of clubs.
I'm not on a jack quite yet, but yeah, I don't know. It looks it's kind of cool. It's got a lot of detail. There's like stars and stuff in it too that you can't really see on the distance, but yeah, worked out.
That's really cool. Okay, well, so what we're planning on doing every week is we're gonna record it. I think our plan is we're gonna record it every Monday, and release it by Friday, because of course we need time to edit things and to work on things and better ourselves as podcasters. So we're gonna release it every Friday, and record it on Mondays. And it seems like what our content's going to be is going to kind of be crossing all the platforms that we talked about earlier, from content creation to pop culture to politics to finances to sports to tech, kind of basically whatever. We're going to go in, like, obviously read the comments on every video and see what people kind of want us to talk about. And we're going to go off that as well, and we're going to create constant new content for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much that. And yeah, the Monday through Friday, I think, kind of gives us more time to work on it, time to review everything and read comments, time to fix any issues we got. So that'll be fun, and then maybe more as we go, like see where it branches off to. These other kind of episodes we got to do or stuff like that. Be curious to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're gonna end it tonight.
Cool.
So
yeah, I think it's been good. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess without further ado, Thank you very much for watching and listening, or just having it on while you're doing something else. That's cool too. And that's the Antics and Goose Show. Tune in weekly for new episodes, as we just mentioned, and be sure to like, follow, subscribe, favorite, if you liked it, of course, or if you just accidentally press the button and forget about it, that's kind of helpful too. We won't know the difference really. If we get like a massive amount of subscribers but like no views, it's a little weird, but we might figure out what's going on. Be like, yeah, well, this is strange. Yeah. So that's that.
That's that. Okay, thank you guys.
All
I
right.
appreciate you all. Thank you.